You are not prepared.
Oh, okay.
What's up everybody, welcome back to Double T Gaming, and for today's video, I want to talk about World of Warcraft. More specifically, I want to talk about how World of Warcraft is going to end. As timeless and as ageless as WoW may seem, it has to come to an end eventually. The game will eventually just start to die out, and Blizzard won't see it as a major profit anymore, as hard as that is to believe. No, I'm not saying this is going to happen anytime soon, because the numbers show that Legion was a big success for Warcraft. It may have given it some extra years. I'm talking like 5, maybe 10 years down the line, we could see Warcraft slowly start to die off. In 7 years, WoW is going to have its 20th anniversary, and that is just mind-boggling to think about with a video game. Now, I don't really want to talk about the business and the numbers behind the ending of the game, World of Warcraft. I want to talk about the ending to the story of World of Warcraft. But first, before we talk about the end, we gotta talk about the beginning. World of Warcraft is one of the most revolutionary games of all time. As much as some people would hate to admit, it literally has shaped the MMORPG genre and computer gaming as a whole. So as big as a bang as Warcraft made when it came into the world, I think it needs to leave that same type of mark when it finally decides to leave the world too. There hasn't been as big of a game as WoW within the MMORPG genre that has been able to run its course from beginning to end. So WoW could have the first chance to do this and really show that it was truly the greatest MMORPG of all time. So normally at the end of all these different types of adventure story games, the heroes win. They beat the bad guys, the day saved, it's a happy ending, that stereotypical good versus evil thing. But what if in this scenario, the heroes don't win? What if the ending to WoW is that we lose and Azeroth is destroyed? Now hear me out before you start typing those nasty hate comments. For years, the speculation as to WoW's ending is that Sargeras is going to be the big final boss. Now if you don't know who that is, he is this dark demonic titan god who created the Burning Legion. He's basically Satan, that's how WoW mythology is putting it. He's the king of the underworld. Now there is a lot of different rumors and different backgrounds about where he is and why he hasn't come to Azeroth yet, but a common theme of all that is that somehow he is trapped in the twisting nether and requires a lot of dark magics to summon him because of how powerful he actually is. Now all that is just popular opinion from posts on MMO Champion, Reddit, WoW forums. If there is 100% verified place where Sargeras actually is, and why he hasn't been able to come to Azeroth yet, feel free to let me know because I'm interested about it. But anyway, people like Gul'dan and Kil'jaeden and even Archimonde have been trying to summon him and have been in contact with Sargeras throughout the entirety of Legion. And with the new patch coming out, it's slowly but surely building up to his eventual return. Now I don't think that will happen in this expansion. I think we'll somehow thwart it and push his return back even farther, but I mean, you never know. But enough about all that lore stuff that I really don't know that much about, so I'm not going to try and act like I do. I just want to talk about a scenario about how exactly WoW could end. Now I started putting this idea together a couple years ago, and I actually submitted it to a GM in-game, and he thought it was pretty entertaining. But it goes like this. First off, I don't think the return of Sargeras should be an actual expansion in and of itself. I think it should be more like a server-wide event. Something like the AQ War effort, or how Naxxramas started floating above major cities before Wrath of the Lich King, how the world was literally destroyed before the Cataclysm launched, and even how they were like demonic invasion stuff before Legion came out. I think it should be an event. Now we all expect Sargeras to start destroying everything, just as mere presence will start devastating places, and we'll get to that stuff. But what if Sargeras somehow destroys Azeroth from the inside out? And when I say inside, I mean like the economy of Azeroth. What if just the threat of Sargeras returning starts to make some NPCs go insane? There's literally chaos across all the cities, everyone is fighting each other, there's looting, robbing, killing across all the major cities. And because of that, all the auction houses get shut down, all the profession trainers disappear, there's no more nodes or anything, and basically the economy and trade just get destroyed. Each week, Sargeras is inching closer and closer to escaping the nether, and we are able to feel those effects, whether they be physical or mental. Each day the sky gets darker and more red, zones starts being just completely decimated, starting off with the less populated zones in cities like Exodar or Thunderbluff, and then the zones nobody ever really goes to. Places like Fairless or Silithus, where they all start becoming just a barren wasteland. There's no NPCs, no enemies, no nothing, just destruction. And you may be asking, hey, but those are leveling zones, what about our alts? And my answer to that is, the game's about to be shut down, so don't worry about your alts. From the moment they announce that Sargeras is returning, maybe they implement the scaling systems to every mob in the game, so people are able to experience content they never experienced before. Maybe they reopen all the raids and all that other stuff regardless of what level you are. But anyway, eventually after a couple of weeks of just panic and destruction across Azeroth, Sargeras will be close enough to our side of whatever portal he's crawling out of, so that we can go in there and fight him and try and stop him. But if you forgot, he's a god and a titan and whatever, basically he's immortal from what I've read, and we can't kill him. So all we can do is try and push him back. So once a week, every server would try and fight him. meaning that players on, for example, Darkspear will go in there and fight for their server survival, and then players on Illidan will go in there and fight for their server survival. You get what I mean. At this point, the factions, they're not fighting anymore. Both the Horde and the Alliance are working together because they know that the end is coming and they need all the fighting power they can get. So basically, they settled all their differences, and World PvP, it's, I guess you could say, they'll turn it off to make it easier. So once a week, the entire server, doesn't matter what faction, doesn't matter what level because of the scaling, they go in there and try and push Sargeras back. You can use as many battle resets as you want, whatever you want at your disposal, and you're fighting not only alongside the entire server player base, but every NPC that has ever helped us along the way. I'm talking like level 1 to whatever level the expansion end at, let's just say 150. I'm talking all the faction leaders, all the reputation leaders, everyone. Everyone is trying to stop Sargeras and save Azeroth. If you're able to beat him 1 week and push him back down to the Nether, you bought your server another week of surviving and not being shut down. But if your server wipes, there's no second chances. You can't resurrect. Whatever portal Sargeras is climbing out of doesn't let you run back to your body. You're done. Instead, Sargeras takes your spirit or whatever, your wisp, your spirit, whatever, the ghost of you, and empowers himself with it, and uses that power to make it through the portal and get to Azeroth. And then there's this big cinematic of him just destroying Azeroth. All these demons are coming out of all these different portals and whatnot, and that's it. Your server's done and it's shut down for good. And after every week you actually are able to push him back, the next week he will climb back up and come back up even stronger. Now I imagine at this point the players on those servers that are shut down will all migrate to those surviving servers, so it'll eventually be a majority of the player base trying to fight off Sargeras altogether. And I realize this will be a total lag fest. Maybe with all the other servers shut down, Blizzard will be able to pour more resources into those surviving servers to help with like the lag and stuff. And those players that came over, whenever they make a new character, they will have some starting gear to use, so they don't have to waste their time trying to gear up. Maybe the forces of the Horde and the Alliance just supply the newcomers with like a set of armor and everything. Sort of like how boosted characters got a set of gear when they boost up to like 100 or whatever. And eventually, after so many weeks, Sargeras will just become so powerful that he can't be stopped. And you'll be able to overpower all of the players and take down those few remaining servers that were left. And that's it. WoW is done. All the servers are shut down. The game that literally shook the world would be over. Now I know this isn't a happy ending like people would like. But with the way World of Warcraft revolutionized gaming as a whole, I feel as if the ending needs to also leave its own mark. And I couldn't think of a better way to do that. But anyway, that's just my thoughts on an interesting way that WoW could end. I'm about 99.999% sure it won't happen like this. With the rate things are going now, Sargeras may not even be the final boss of World of Warcraft. But hey, I mean, if it does happen like this, just remember who thought of this idea first. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. This is Double T Gaming. If you thought this was a good idea, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel for more content. Leave your ideas of WoW's ending in the comment section down below. I feel like everyone's thoughts would be really fun to read. And I will see you guys in the next video.